met Marissa back in 2004, I think. We were working together as co-workers, and just from working day in and day out, we became friends and hanging out. Started to learn some of her many talents, some known, some unknown, and then she got engaged to get married. She was married in 2006, but while she was engaged, she was making her own dress for her wedding. Something I've never got a chance to see. I knew she went to school, and she was a designer, went to design school, but I saw artwork. I knew she could draw, but her wedding dress was beautiful. Never seen anything like it, and I told her after the wedding, I said, I don't know when I'm getting married, but whenever I do get married, you're going to make my dress for me. Fast forward
16 years later.
16 years later, I got engaged in December 25th of 2018, and the first thing that came to my mind was, I already know who's going to make my dress for me. Probably a couple of days later, I mentioned it to her. I said, remember, we had the conversation. I asked you to make my dress for me if I ever got married, and you said yes. And the first thing she thought about was, whew,
I haven't sewn in so long.
I need to think about it. Yeah, I need to think about it. So anyway, it was no pressure. I told her I understood because it was a lot of work. We did have plenty of time because we had a little shy of 2 years, probably about a good year and a half. But anyway, she came to me and said, you know what the heck? Yes, let's do it. And that's where our journey began.
That's where it began. So it was kind of scary and not scary. It was scary because she just trusted me so much. She was like, I know you got this, you know, I'm not worried. I'm like, ooh, no pressure, you know, like she's put so much trust in me, I better deliver. So that was, it was fun to make. Like she said, we met many, many years ago, and I made my wedding dress, and I promised her when she gets married, I'll do hers as well, and then it happened. So we started, I sketched a few things, I showed them to her. We actually made a video of that, but somehow I lost it.
Did you?
Yep, and then we drafted an agreement, a contract, how much it was going to cost to go shop, to do all these things. And then I made the dress out of muslin, which I'm sure you guys will see a video of that. She tried it on, we made corrections, and then we decided, all right, we're going to go to New York and get her fabrics and everything to make the dress. So we went with Kimmy. Kimmy lives like, 4 hours away from us, so she can't join us on this video, but she will be talking about her own experience on another video.
New York, we're in LaGuardia, guys. We just got here. We're on our way to, we're going to a hotel first, and then we're going to Manhattan.
Yes, early check-in. And then we're hitting the strip.
We're going to Manhattan.
All right, so mission accomplished, boy. Yeah, I think we walked, I don't know, you didn't have your Fitbit on you? I have my phone on me. I can see how many steps that we walked today. There's Kim back there in the back. It's been a day.
She don't look tired.
It's been a journey. She had that coffee, rejuvenated herself. But we have purchased material. We purchased lace. We purchased everything that we need for the dress.
The one in the middle dress.
Stay tuned.
So what we decided was we were trying to think of the best place to get fabric.
Oh yeah.
And material. You know, living here in Tennessee. Not to say that there are not places here, but with her going to school in New York, she knew exactly where to go. So we were tossing ideas up with New York, or out there in Atlanta, or out there in LA. So those were like the 3 places, but we ended up going to New York. It was familiar territory for Marissa, And we made a weekend trip out of it. We left early Friday morning, August of 2019. And we did Friday, Saturday, and came back Sunday morning. And I will say that hands down, we made a girls trip out of it. Again, it was myself, Marissa, and Kimmy, who joined us. We made a girls trip out of it, but it was one that I will never forget. Just the whole process and taking that in. You know, when you're preparing and planning for a wedding, you're excited. You want all those things. So at that moment, we said that we will start recording, you know, and capturing these moments so we could have them to share during the wedding. Actually, share with the group, showing off Marissa's talents again for advertising and things like that, because we already had it mapped out. She also is my hairstylist
and makeup artist.
My makeup artist. So, you know, we already knew that we were going to, you know, market her and show her off on that day as well. But yes, it was an adventure. Got there early Friday morning, and we hit the streets running. I mean, we were out there all day long.
It was fun. So Kimmy kind of got a little seasick, or motion sickness. She got a little motion sickness on the bus because it was like all over the place. But she recovered. We had a lot of fun walking the strip of New York City and all the different blocks and trying this shop, that shop, and then we go to one store, we see all this beautiful stuff, and then we go to the next store, we're like, oh, we should have come here first, you know. So that was fun. We didn't even, but the places that we had outlined where we were going to go, we had already mapped out where we were going to go. We didn't even touch those places where we end up getting our. Yeah.
We didn't even go.
Well, I knew we were going to go to Steinloff's and Stotler to get like all these, you know, scissors or whatever, threads and zippers and whatever. So that we went.
Yeah.
Then we went to one fabric shop that we had no business going. We didn't think we were going to go there. Then we bought some fabric we weren't so crazy about. And then we went to another shop and we found all these laces, and we got stuck there. And apparently a designer that I follow on IG also shops there. I was like, oh, no wonder. They have real nice stuff there. So that was good. And then UPS was just around the corner. As soon as we were done, we went to UPS, and then we shipped everything down to Nashville. And then we grabbed pizza. We grabbed some pizza. The line for that pizza place was long. It was $1 pizza, really good. And then we left to go back to a hotel in Jersey.
Yeah. And it was Marissa's birthday weekend, or her birthday had already passed, but we celebrated her birthday while we were there as well, so which made it extra special. But we went on a boat ride that night. And
then we went on a yacht party. It's like a yacht party.
Yacht party.
Around the Statue of Liberty, and it was a Ghanaian party. Boat party. It was fun. We had fun, and I think we might have like a little snippet video of that too. To share. So after that we came back, made it back to the room. It was about 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning by the time we got up. Oh, the good thing, I met a friend that I knew back in Ghana. So he drove us to our hotel. That was nice.
Yeah, it was. We slept for a couple of hours, and then we were back up and running Saturday morning to finish picking up the last few things that we didn't get on Friday, which was good because we got the majority of the things on Friday. So Saturday, after we finished all that, we brought that back with us on the plane, but we were able to come back.
We got your shoes that day.
We did get shoes. We got a video clip of that. Picked up the shoes there, had them shipped here. Everything was shipped to Marissa's house. Nothing came to my house. Everything was shipped to Marissa's house.
And we did that because her fitting will be happening here. So it's easy for her to put on her shoes, anything else, tiara, whatever, here while we try the dress on. So that's what happened. Saturday, we shopped shoes, ate, hang out in New York. We were kind of tired too, and we were going to leave on Sunday, early Sunday morning. So we retired back to the hotel. When did we when did we eat? We stuffed our face. What was a Friday? Wasn't that Friday before the boat party?
Friday night, yeah, we ordered room service.
We ordered room service. We
had
stuffed our face.
all kind of food. And we were tired, but we still wanted to make sure that we made the best out of the trip. So tired going out. I think we didn't go out till like 12 o'clock.
Yep.
We didn't go out till 12, but it was still fun. Definitely worth it all. But when we left Sunday morning, we were dragging tail, red eyes.
Oh, we were dragging. We were dragging.
And I have a clip of that, just kind of talking about the experience in New York, and having my friends with me, my girls with me, made it all worthwhile. But it was definitely worth the experience, and I enjoyed every minute of it.
It was almost therapeutic too, because we had moments where we just talked about life, about sisterhood, about what we're doing with our lives, and the best way to I guess kind of be happy and make sure you're doing what you love and all that kind of stuff. It was empowering. It was a good sisterly bond moment for all three of us.
Yeah.
So we came back to Nashville, and then basically I got into cutting the fabric from the muslin, from muslin transferred to pattern paper to the real fabric. So real fabric, I started cutting that. Majority of the work, especially her train or the skirt, was made by hand because there was so many stones in it that there was no way I was going to sew it with a machine. So majority of that was done by hand. So that took forever. And then COVID hit and everything got postponed. I mean, this whole dream, this whole big deal we were about to make just went. But in the end, victory. We still made sure we made something out of this. You got married?
I did get married. We again, we had this huge wedding vision. We had 400 guests. We had everything pretty much paid for. Well, not pretty much. Everything was paid for. But of course, COVID and plans changed. It was right in the midst of when they started shutting everything down pretty much. And it was, you could only have this many people, those things like that. So they had so many restrictions in place, and they were changing daily. But nonetheless, we still ended up getting married. We did something on a much smaller scale. We did a backyard wedding. So there were so many things that I was looking for in a wedding that we had already planned for, like the gazebo, those things like that. So my parents loved them dearly. They tried their hardest to make sure that I still had the wedding that I had envisioned, at least some of the items that, some of the finer details that I was looking for, like the gazebo. They purchased a gazebo. They kind of, did a lot of work to their backyard, and just kind of made it over, gave it a little facelift. But very nice. And again, we end up having 40 guests instead of the 400. But still, all of my girls were able to make it. I didn't wear the dress that we were making, that Marissa was making for me, just because it was outside. It was in July, and it really wasn't an outside kind of wedding gown. So Marissa and I went on this journey of finding a new dress.
Yep.
I'm glad I took her with me. I was very stressed out at that moment. I didn't think I would be. Very stressed out and overwhelmed, just because when you have your mind set on one thing and then you have to change that,
nothing else cuts it.
Yeah, it was pretty unnerving. But she was my voice of reason. She was that person that could see beyond, and I just couldn't see beyond or past my dress, and I wasn't ready or willing to accept anything other than what she was making for me. But we did. We found the dress. She said, "This is the one, Corey." I still wasn't sold, but I said, "Okay, I trust you."
Simple, but
it was simple, something totally different, because we were going all out. I mean, all out. But it was simple, and it was nice for the occasion, and definitely for the wedding, and I still felt like a bride. So yes, we had some alterations done to the dress, and believe it or not, a dear friend of mine ended up, she knew what was going on and found out about everything, and she actually gave me my money back for that dress. So she actually paid for my wedding dress, my second dress, which was very sweet of her, and she didn't have to do it, but that was something that she wanted to do for me, so that was her wedding gift to me. So again, it was a very humbling experience with COVID, but sometimes things doesn't always go as planned, and God always sees or have a different plan, and you don't know or understand it at the time. But at the end of the day, I was still able to get married. I still married my king. We, still had those that were, dear and close to us, family and friends that attended, that, should have been there. They were there. And it was a joyous occasion. So, but, fast forward that regarding my dress, because at this point, my dress was just kind of sitting there. We was just kind of on hold at that point. Didn't know what to do. We discussed several different things, like doing a reception a year later. A year later came and we were still in COVID. So afraid to plan anything, just because of, you just don't know. Probably about 65% of my guests were over 50. So, the rate for COVID exposure and things like that, and, those getting sick were, older and the elderly with, underlying health issues, those things like that. So they were nervous about being in crowds.
So COVID put a damper on a lot of people's plans, including Coray's. So we went to New York to make sure that she had what she needed, and we wanted that day to be really special for her. But COVID definitely changed a lot of people's lifestyles, life. It was a very challenging time in our lives, and I felt so horrible that all this work and this time that we put in running the streets of New York, trying to find all of this beautiful material for this beautiful and gorgeous dress that was created by Marissa, that she would never get to wear it on her wedding day. She kept postponing and COVID wouldn't leave. It is still here to stay to this day. So we, that broke my heart, that, the wedding of her dreams, she didn't get to have. And that was very challenging for me as her friend, because I knew how important and how special that day would be. She did have a ceremony, but she didn't get to wear the dress that was created for her specifically. Each dimension was made specifically for her. So that was sad, but we were able to redeem that, and we had a wonderful photo shoot in Atlanta, and she was able to wear that dress. And when I tell you that when she walked out, it was breathtaking, and it was just gorgeous. She looked like royalty. She looked like an actual African queen coming out to meet her king. It was just a wonderful experience to see her in that dress, in the time that it took, in the experience that we went, everything that we've been through for that day. So she didn't get the wedding of her dreams, but she did get the photo shoot of her dreams, and it was special.
And then I had so many friends, people at my wedding party that were traveling from everywhere. And not comfortable with getting on planes, those things like that. So definitely had to think about those things, and think about everybody else's situation and take that into consideration. But we did decide, end up last year, back in 2022, so 2 years later, a little more than 2 years later, we kind of did things in reverse order. But I said, you know what? Because I had a photographer already paid for and just kind of waiting on me to let her know when I was ready to do something. So I said, well, what about a photo shoot? And she said that was a great idea. So we decided to make a girls trip out of that and go to Atlanta. And again, it felt like a bridal party.
It really did. It was a big deal.
It was
fun.
It was probably about 15 of us.
Yeah. Airbnb.
Yeah.
We had music.
We did.
T-shirts made.
We did.
We're gonna share that video with you too.
Yes. Games,
food, drinks, you name it. Oh, and that was the trip that I got my eyebrows tattooed.
She was gone for like 4 or 5 hours. Kid you not. We was like, okay, do we need to send somebody after her? But she came back. She got her eyes tattooed on that trip.
I figured if I'm going to Atlanta, I might as well take advantage and go see the girl that does the brows.
She did. Yeah. She did. Next day, we got up early. Started makeup early. I had to get my hair done.
I wore the same dress, so don't get confused. This is not the same day. Okay, this is another day. We're just talking.
Yeah.
But I decided I'm gonna wear this dress again.
It looked beautiful. Oh, she was stunning. But she came out and got me together. Makeup.
Oh yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Makeup and I get. Well, we were scheduled for one time, and we just didn't make it. We were late. That's okay. It was already paid for, and I said, you know what? Even if we just got 1 hour of shooting, that would be enough. But before I go into that detail, I don't want her to lose her train of thought. So, where are you going?
I was just going straight to photo shoot when the hook and eye broke, and I had to sew you into the dress to close the top because the hook and eye broke. And I'm glad I took my emergency because you never know. You have to take a little emergency bag with you. If any, like when you go to fashion shows and things like that, they have things in the bag too.
But I had just tried that dress on a week before.
Yeah, everything was fine.
Everything was fine.
And
I didn't even drink a lot. I didn't drink at all.
No.
I didn't drink at all the night before because I didn't want to swell up in any kind of way or anything like that.
So I will say this though. When we were making Coray's dress, she was really small. Right? And 2 years went by.
Yeah.
And naturally, anybody would gain weight. But she didn't gain that much. And she lost a whole lot for the photo shoot. And somehow that dress was just like right there.
Yeah.
Snug on her. Perfect. But we broke the hook and eye at the photo shoot. And I had to sew her in the bathroom just to close that little hook and eye spot. So,
but I tell you, at that moment, when it broke, I asked her. I was leaning over on the sink and had my hands out because she was hooking me, and I just heard something pop, and I said, "Did I just bust up out of this dress?" She said, "Yep," but hold on a second. And she sewed me up, and I mean, didn't break a sweat or anything. She kept her composure.
No need to panic.
And I was totally relaxed and calm because if I knew if anybody could fix it, Marissa could. And she did. She sewed me up, and I went out there, and I will say that was the first time that that anyone there saw that dress.
Yeah. Besides mom.
Mom?
But your mom didn't see it. She didn't. Well, mom saw the dress. She didn't see you in it.
She saw the dress a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
But to see it on and to see the finished product because it wasn't even really, it wasn't finished at all.
When she saw it.
We just kind of stopped once, I had my wedding in Ohio. We just stopped. We just paused for a while. And so that was the first time that anyone had seen the dress except myself, Marissa. And it was nice. At that moment, I felt like a bride.
All over again.
Feelings and emotions. Those things that, I was looking forward to or
so.
everybody wanted to go for lunch. We decided we were going to go look for a Ghanaian restaurant. So that's what we did. Corey and I and Courtney. We went to a Ghanaian restaurant and we ate. It was good food, good drinks. And then
like we were doing a mukbang because we
had tons of food. We were trying everything. We were trying everything. I think we did light soup and fufu. We did plantain and beans. We did jollof rice. We did goat meat. Like, we did so much.
We did.
We couldn't even eat all of it. So after that, when did we go to the mall?
So that was Saturday. So we came back and relaxed, and then Saturday night we all went to dinner.
We went to dinner.
We relaxed for a few hours, then we all went to dinner. So everybody changed, and the theme for that Saturday night was Colorful You. So anything that had color. So everybody had an array of colors. It was very pretty. And I'll have some pictures to show of us at the table and things like that. And it rained that night.
It rained. Oh my goodness. It rained really, really bad.
Yeah. But we made it through. Went back to the Airbnb later that night and just relaxed. Had drinks, talked, laughed, listened to music, and just started to wind down because everyone was going to be departing at various times on that Sunday. So it was nice. It was fun. It was a girls' trip. Marissa and I drove down together, and we drove separately because I had the dress in the car that took up the whole back seat. So we were pretty loaded down. But yeah, people had flew in from all over. And then my sister and nieces, they were there from Atlanta already there. So they came over and joined us. So we came back. Well, Sunday, we went to brunch on Sunday after everyone left. Me, Marissa, Kimmy, Katie.
And Katie.
And then they left, and Marissa and I hit up.
We went to Neiman Marcus.
Yeah. What mall was that? Oh, God.
Some mall in Atlanta.
Yeah.
That was nice. We went perfume shopping.
Perfume shopping.
What else am I going to do but shop for perfumes? We went perfume shopping and we bought a few things and then drove down. And that was the trip. The whole, the dress, the photo shoot, the beginning to the end. And now the dress is in Corey's home. Have you dry cleaned it yet?
So I have not. I need to dry clean it, and then I need to get back to Marissa so she can fix the hook and eye.
So, yeah.
And then I've been kind of, I don't know, I guess teetering with what to do with it. At first I was like, I'll just sell it.
Yeah.
And at first Marissa was like, you can just sell it. And then after she made the dress, she was the main one after she made the dress and was finished with it and saw me in it. She was like, you don't want to sell it. I mean, that's something you want to keep. And I'm like, I have 2 dresses now. Don't know what to do with either one. They're just there. But, I've been tossing the idea around, about maybe doing a reception in 5 years or a 5-year renewal vow. Because, we're 2 years later in. Going on our 3rd year. This will be our 3-year anniversary coming up, and it just seemed like yesterday we were doing all this. So I don't know. Maybe in 5 years we do a reception or a vow renewal, and then I can wear the dress and invite all the folks in our family. Because I guess when you really look at it, there were. You couldn't invite everyone. And, I did have some folks that were upset that couldn't attend. And, I get it. But at that point, you just try to make sure that you make the best decision and invite those that you can. So if we did a vow renewal, then we definitely make sure that we can invite everyone that we would have loved to attend.
Yeah.
So
my thought about her selling the dress, initially I thought it was okay, right? But then I thought about seeing her in it, and I thought about all the work that went into it, the trip, the story behind it, wanting this made, shopping for it, just the sisterhood and bonding that went with it. And I just like, if you sell that, it's gone. You know, it's a story. That dress is a story, and it will be gone. And somebody else might not even see like the importance or the value of that dress. So I don't know. I just thought she should just keep it. You know, it will forever be something. I mean, if 20 years or whatever, in the next 10 years or 8 years she decide to sell it, it's her dress. But I just thought there's such story behind it. There's always going to be something to talk about, you know, and then you wouldn't have anything to show if you talked about this to somebody who knows nothing about it. You would not have anything to show but pictures, which is memory too, but that's my thought. But
we shall see. I would definitely love to wear it again. And just walk out in front of all those people like we had initially planned. I think there's still a part of me that, there's a emptiness there when it comes to that, just because, I had this idea of this dream wedding, and, you always plan it, and what we had was, it was beautiful still, but I would love to still be able to experience that piece of it. So who knows? That might still happen later on in the future. So.
And the photo shoot, the groom wasn't there because, it wasn't a wedding photo shoot per se. She just wanted to make sure she got a chance to wear her dress. So that's what it was. So if you see pictures of her and her girls, it's just a photo shoot. It's not like a wedding. Where's the groom? No, it wasn't like that.
And, and before I did ask, I'll say that I did ask, and he was totally fine with not having to go through all of that, getting dressed up and all those things like that. And he's like, go have your girls trip. A guy, he already had his photos, and he felt like he had his day, so he was satisfied. He was perfectly okay with it. So I was like, that's fine. We just gonna make a girls trip out of it, and that's exactly what we did. So, but yeah, I couldn't imagine anything better. Definitely enjoyed the experience. With my bestie over here, she definitely made it worthwhile. She clearly exceeded all my expectations and more. And the fact that she even told me it wasn't me that she was worried about or stressed out about the dress, because I didn't put any pressure on her. She said because it was, when she told me stuff, okay, it's fine. I trust you. You go ahead. The dress didn't come out exactly how we had designed it. We had to make changes, along the way, which was fine. And there was a piece, I remember she saying, Cray, I'm going to have to do this. It was regarding a strap or something like that. I was like, really? Are you sure? You know what? I trust you. You just go ahead. And that's how it was the whole entire time. I never pressure her. Hey, when are you going to have this done? What are you going to do? Or anything like that. She was more so worried about my mama. But my mama, my mother, she was worried more about my mother than me. And I'm like, I'm the bride. But she was worried about my mother.
Because I know naturally mothers would be like, how are things going? How far are we? And Corey, not once did she say, so how far have you gotten to? So how are we looking? And that was enough pressure for me, because she doesn't ask me what's going on. When are we fitting? When are you going to be done? Like nothing. That trust that she put in me was enough pressure. Because I'm like, why is she not saying anything? Why is she not asking anything? Like, okay, you better get this going, because this is enough pressure. Like, if you value a friendship, right, and you value that trust, you have to do everything to maintain it. And that was a big thing for me. Like, her friendship means so much to me that I cannot afford to disappoint her. Not give her the dress she wants on time. Like, no, that would totally put a big damper on the friendship. So, and she never once pressured me, and that was enough pressure for me. Honestly, like, who does that? She's not even asking me, are you done? How are we doing? You got this? Like, nothing.
Anybody that knows Marissa, I was just telling her before this video, I said, you've been doing my makeup for me for 16 years now. 16, right?
20 years.
Almost 20. Yeah, almost 20 years.
20 years.
18 years. I said, you know, you've been doing my makeup for me for almost 18 years. And we kind of, you know, skimmed through some of the pictures back then as to where she is now. And even back then, you know, we thought she was the bomb. And it looked good. But just as time goes by, you know, things change, looks, fashion, those things like that. She's adapted. But I've always trusted her then. Marissa does my hair. And anybody that knows her know that she's very particular. She's very meticulous about her work. She's, you know, she's a perfectionist. So she's going to make sure it's right. And if it's not right, she's going to tell you, nope, I need to do it over again. And that takes me back to when she did my makeup for me for my engagement photos. Again, I was late. Late. I was over here getting my makeup done. And we were pretty much about finished. And something was going on with the foundation. Something was going on, and it was like it was peeling or something, cracking. And she was like, "I'm sorry, but I have to start over again." I said, I should have been left like 30 minutes ago." She's like, "I'm sorry, I cannot let you leave up out here. I got to fix this." And I mean, all I could just say was, "Okay." And we started over. She fixed her mistake, and she's like, "This will do. It'll work." And I got up out of there. But again, there was nothing to pressure her about. I know she was going to do it. I know it's going to be done right. So I had all my trust and faith in her.
Appreciate you, sis. My son is over there running around. But yeah, guys, we wanted to come tell you guys about, you know, this thing that was supposed to happen years ago. I was so excited. Couldn't wait to share with you guys. Yeah. But it's okay. It's 3 years later, and we're still sharing it. We're here to tell you about this beautiful dress that we made for Corey for her wedding. She still got to wear it. I'm very honored that I got to make it. No, I will not be making anybody's dress. So don't ask me to make your dress unless you have like 6 workers that you're sending down my way that I don't mind designing and supervising for them to, you know, make it. Because now it's doing it all by myself with no help and having a full-time job is tough.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we will see you.
I love you, sis. Love you too, babe.
We will see you guys in the next video. Now you know how I say bye on my videos. Bye-bye.
It's so silly.